So I made a few benches using cinder blocks and wood from those decks I took apart. I've got a little one down here, and then I've got one up here next to the fire, and then another one here that's in the same vicinity but out of the way of the horseshoe pits. So close enough to converse, but the wood's all nasty. So out comes the wire brush, and when it dries, this is just soapy bleach water, but when this dries it'll be good as new. Maybe I can even come back and throw little Thompsons on it if I have my brush wet, because I am supposed to be doing the inside of my shower as well. But so I got to do this one, and then that one, and then that one, and then the seating for the gathering will be handled, because there's seats inside already. Good grief, it's a little bit of elbow grease there. It's not it's labor. Solar is approaching. One more tree to get out of the way. So I just got done cleaning out the area, unrolled some of this and made a temporary pad, and I'm going to be trying to pull back onto this to see how it does. But I have the remainder of all the materials that I was using to do the road with before I had to stop and do other things, and then the remainder of the yurt. I've been maintaining that the trails are empty or clear or traversable, or whatever word you choose to use. But I want to take a peek at these bench seats here, see what they're looking like since they've got a little sun on them. Yeah, that looks a world different. So when it gets dried out the rest of the way, I'll hit it with a wire brush real gentle, and then come back with some Thompson's water seal. And then they'll be looking pretty snappy. Wow, this one came out so nice. It was so, like, this one especially, I was afraid it wasn't going to do well because it was like almost all green with algae. The other one was like black and green. It was real old. If I hit it with a power washer, it probably would have lost half the surface. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this one turned out just as nicely. Good grief. So a little bit of Thompson's, and those will look like somebody bought them, almost. Cool. So from there, take a peek up the driveway. I made sure that no rain entered the yurt, and it was dry, so that's very cool. I gotta put another screw in my tripod for when everybody gets here, so we can all have a happy smile group thing. But yeah, so I cleaned up this area because this is where all the material that I was using to do the road down there was, and it looks like we're going to be having people with there's going to be a few cars, so I'm going to have to back the van up as far as I can, and even though that may block the entry to this trail point, it'll have me back here, and I guess I'll stop the back tires on this. That ought to put the nose of my vehicle like right around here, and then if I can get back out when I go to the screw later, then that ought to just be handled. But that way when people come in, they'll be able to pull down into here, and then still have enough room to be able to back up and then get out. So we can definitely support some cars. My van is obviously capable of getting back here when it's dry. With all this rain we had, I don't know if I really want to try it. I do have to say, however, that this puddle area that used to get real deep is now like just barely moist right there in that one little spot. And since I dug this corner out, it's less to get stuck on. I'm just worried about like the soil being slippery stuff. This is actually almost dried up also, so that means that the trail might be traversable, which is good. Yeah. Let's see if I can get this thing back here. Well, I took it slow. I heard a lot of crackling and popping, but it looks like it survived. This side definitely did better, but the other side's not completely bellied out like it used to. The ground is slightly firm, and I have a whole bunch of stakes in it. But yeah, you can see where I was sinking in. And this used to be the good spot. So, I guess that means more yurt fixings after this shindig is over. Otherwise, I might get stuck here. The only thing I did find that needs to be fixed for certain is the edges. There we go, that'll help for a little while. Is the edges of this part up here, right where people turn in and out. So I'm gonna have to get channel locks and bend these down. But they stop. Like right here's the last one. So if I bend that one down, I ought to be okay. So, only around 20 of them. Well, that was a son of a gun. There was exactly 40 of them. But I got them all pointing straight down and pinning into the soil for her to have the ability to do so. It was a pain, man. All I got a pair of channel locks and just wrenched on them. And then these on the front where they couldn't bang in, I bent over under that wood. This one hit soil, this one actually poked through the carpet. So people ought to be able to come in and turn off and then come from the turn and then bump up, no issue. Should not be an issue. Over here might be an issue on this side with them getting the tire on. I'm not really sure if I want to be bending all that. This is thick, man. This is like 8 gauge wire. This is super, like, it's rebar. It ain't no fence, it's straight rebar. So if they can make that, I'll just stand right here next to where their tire is and push it down and then let them drive next to my toe. So upon entry off of the road, this is what we've got. You just come in here and pull around. My recommendation would be that they pull in this far and then do like a 3-point turn. And then they can go back up here and back in. That way it's easier for them to get out. There's a little bit of a bump here. Shouldn't be bad enough for a car not to make. Unless somebody's got something really like a low rider. Alright. Anyway, we can accept parking all the way back this far. And I suppose if they had to, this is enough room to make a 3-point turn. It's just if they're all lined up frontwards. I guess, well, it depends on how many cars. That's what it's going to depend on. But yeah, if somebody nosed up to here, there is enough room for a car to make